Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Timmy Treacle and I'm coming at you again with another top 10 list. I'm going to give you my top 10 favorite Anna Faris films. I love this lady ever since Scary Movie came out in the year 2000. I've loved her in that film and I've loved her ever since. She's so funny, and I currently love her in her CBS show Mom, which airs on Thursday nights on CBS at 8 p.m. and it will be airing its sixth season coming this fall. So if you haven't seen that TV show, definitely check it out. She stars alongside uh, what is her name? Allison Janney, who just recently won the Oscar for I, Tonya. I have yet to see that movie, but I heard good things about it. But that TV show is freaking hilarious, so definitely check it out. But let's get to my top 10 list. And before I give you my top 10, I'm going to give you some honorable mentions and maybe some dishonorable mentions in some people's view. But nevertheless, here's some honorable mentions. Alvin and the Chipmunks, Chipwrecked, and then you have The Squeakquel, and then you have Road Trip, or Road Chip, I should say. And then I have Movie 43, Observe and Report, and Brokeback Mountain. All good films. Just couldn't make my top 10 list. But at number 10 is Scary Movie 4 from 2006. I love the Scary Movie franchise. I really wish they would have stopped at 4. They made a fifth one, which was just a disaster. Even though it had a nice cast in it, I just really wish they would have stopped at 4. Number 4 parodies a lot of films. Uh, uh, Brokeback Mountain to be 1. Uh, War of the Worlds, the Village. A lot of those movies are parodied in this film, and it stars Anna Faris and Anthony Anderson, Kevin Hart, Leslie Nielsen. I love these parody films, and Anna Faris is amazing in these 4 films, in my opinion. She's really funny. Uh, And there's another lead character in this film. I can't remember her name for the life of me. But Anna Faris in these films, just hysterical. She plays Cindy in these 4 films. And this is one of 2 sequels that the Wayans brothers weren't involved in. But you'll find out more about that as the list goes on. But Scary Movie 4, yes, it is a great sequel and a great parody, in my opinion, and definitely worth a top 10 spot, in my opinion. Coming to number 9 is Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Squeakquel. I did have that as a honorable mention, but I recently changed it and I put it at number 9 just before this video. And it is a very good movie. This is where we meet the Chipettes. And if you haven't seen the first film, of course, you have Alvin, Simon, and Theodore, and Dave Seville, played by Jason Lee, who is great as Dave Seville. And then you have Alvin, you have Justin Long, I believe, voices him. And then the Chipettes, of course, you have Anna Faris, you have Christina Applegate, and Amy Poehler, respectively, voicing those characters. And I love it. They meet the former manager of the Chipmunks, who was looking for another musical act since he was fired in the first film for basically mistreating the boys and whatnot. And he basically does the same thing in this film. And but I grew up watching this cartoon in the 80s, and I love it. And I have a soft spot for these films. I did put this one in my top 10, like I said, just before I started this video. I think I did mention it as an honorable mention, but I did change it. And definitely worth a top 10 spot. I am doing this top 10 because I can't wait to see Anna Faris's film Overboard. It is a remake of the 80s film, which is a classic with Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn. But yeah, number 9, Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Squeakquel. The first 2 films are fantastic. The other films get a lot of hate, especially from critics, but I have a soft spot for all these films, and this is no exception. I love this film. Coming in number 8 is Scary Movie 2. Uh, this is one of the ones that the Wayans brothers did. They did the first 2 films. This one parodies The Exorcist, Charlie's Angels, just to name a couple of movies. And it has a great cast. Um, you have Anna Farris, you have Sean and Marlon Wayans, Tim Curry. You even have Tori Spelling in this film, and she's actually funny in this film. It was actually pretty funny. Uh, but I love the characters in this film. I love the parody. It's not very long, about an hour and a half, but it's short and to the point, and that's what a parody should be. It shouldn't be longer than the original film, and it definitely shouldn't be more than 2 hours long. It shouldn't even be an hour and 45 minutes long, unless the film was, or these films are, 2 hours or more longer, the ones they're parodying. But nevertheless, this sequel is hilarious. A lot of critics didn't really like this one. The only one they really enjoyed was the first film. But since then, I think they've had a little change of heart. But yeah, Scary Movie 2, it is from 2001, I believe. And yeah, it's a funny sequel. Tim Curry in this film is great. And the whole cast is great. I really enjoyed it. And they're also making fun of Hollow Man. That's another one. Hollow Man. Was it Hollow Man? I believe that's what it was. But yeah, it's a great sequel and a great parody. Coming number 7 is from 2002. It is The Hot Chick. This film got a lot of hate from critics. It has Rob Schneider as the lead character, who is a thief, who ends up swapping places with this beautiful girl, who is the hottie of her clique, who is part of or with Anna Faris' character, and she steals the movie in this film, in my opinion. The 2 characters, Schneider and that girl, they swap bodies, and so Schneider's character is the female, and then the female is the male, and they play him perfect, in my opinion. But Anna Faris in this film is hysterical. She's not the main star in the film, but what she does in this film alone, to me, makes it. And there's a scene in the bedroom where she first finds out that her bestie is actually a man, and she, of course, wants to see the male part, and it's just funny. It is really, really good, and it's underrated, in my opinion. I'll probably get a lot of hate for it, but I don't care. I love the film, and it's definitely worth the top 10 spot, in my opinion. This list could change when Overboard comes out, but nonetheless, it's definitely worth a spot in my top 10. Coming in number 6 is Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs from 2009. I love this animated film. I just recently watched this last year, and I gotta tell you, the story, the animation, the picture, everything is beautiful. And I love the fact that he invented this machine that creates food, basically just falls from the sky. And being that the town only has one thing they can eat is amazing in itself. And I love it. I love this film. It's probably not my top 10, but I love it nonetheless. I love the fact that this kid is a dreamer who wants to invent things. And him and his father butt heads and about running the family business. And once he starts creating this food, it kind of puts his father's business out of business. And of course, there's greed and everything. And some people want to misuse the machine, and eventually it'll burn out. But Anna Faris plays a TV reporter in this film, and she does a great job. I love the voice acting in this film, and even Mr. T as a police officer in this film is great. And the sequel was okay, but this film, the first film, is amazing and definitely worth a spot in my top 10. Coming to number 5 is another film I just watched last year. It is from 2008, and it is called House Bunny. And Anna Faris plays a Playboy bunny who is Uh, I believe she is turning 30 years old, and basically in bunny years, that is too old. But she's tricked by another housemate that Hugh doesn't want her around no more, and so she leaves the mansion to find another place to live, and comes across this sorority of girls who are not popular, and they're not, beautiful and whatnot. And so she goes there and basically gives them a complete makeover. Man, I love it. I love the character in this film. Even Tom Hanks' son is in this film. I think it's Colin Hanks, I think it is. Correct me if I'm wrong, but regardless, he is in this film. He's actually really good in this film as well. I found this film to be funny, charming, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. Um, Without getting into spoilers, I definitely think it's worth a spot in my top 10. And as she does more movies, some of these movies may drop out or drop down. But still, I love this movie. I found it to be a really good film. And her being the leading lady in the film, she's great. She can carry the film. And I really enjoy it. Uh, Coming to number 4 is from 2003. It is Scary Movie 3. Yes. Scary Movie 3 is the first sequel that didn't involve the Wayans brothers. They kind of butted heads with the studios about what they wanted to do and how much money they wanted, so they basically moved on. And Jerry Zucker, I believe, took over the reins, if I'm not mistaken. But this film parodies Signs, 8 Mile, to begin with. And Anna Farris is, and also parodies The Grudge as well. She's looking for work. She plays Cindy Campbell, of course, and she gets the job at the house that was in The Grudge with Sarah Michelle Gellar. And she ends up meeting Charlie Sheen's character and his goofy brother, played by Simon Rex, who is hilarious in this film. He does a parody of Eminem, which is great. Anthony Anderson, Kevin Hart, Leslie Nielsen plays the President of the United States, which is great. If you don't know who Leslie Nielsen is, he is in 2 of the greatest parodies of all time, Airplane and the sequel, and the Naked Gun franchise. Just phenomenal movies. But this is a great cast. Parodies, like I said, Signs and 8 Mile, mostly. And it's a great film. There's a lot of laughs. And I love what they did with these characters. I love the story. Like I said, Charlie Sheen is one funny man. And I really wish he would get back to doing some movies. Even though I know most recently he is HIV positive. But regardless, he's a funny man. And I really like to see him back on television. Really wish he didn't get himself fired from 2.5 Men, because that show would probably still be on. But regardless, this film, Scary Movie 3, is great. Anna Faris returns as Cindy Campbell, and it's an amazing film. And definitely worth being in the top 5 of my top 10 list. Number 3 is from 2005, and it is Waiting. This film is freaking awesome. If you've ever worked in a restaurant, then you'll know where I'm coming from. This film, of course, stars Anna Faris, Justin Long, Ryan Reynolds, David Kushner, who else? Luis Guzman. I'm having a hard time naming his name. Dan Cook, or Dane Cook, I should say. And it is a hilarious movie. It's about the day in life of one day of restaurant workers at shenanigans. And there are a lot of shenanigans in this film, and it is great. I even love the sequel that was a direct-to-DVD sequel, still waiting. But getting back to this film, Anna Faris plays a waitress, and they play this game where the males flash their genitalia to everybody, and they get so many kicks in the ass for looking, and the cook staff I can really relate to, because I've been a cook for about 20 years before my injury, and I love this film. Definitely one of my favorites. And Anna Faris is, like I said, again, hysterical in this film, along with the rest of the cast. It's got a great cast. And like I said, if you've ever worked in food service, you'll appreciate the film and you'll appreciate the laughs. Uh, and I can't say enough about the film, but it's definitely worth the top 3 spot in my opinion. Check it out if you haven't already seen it. Coming number 2 is from 2000, and that is Scary Movie. Yes, this film started the Scary Movie franchise, and it parodies Scream, I Know What You Did Last Summer, along with other films. But it is an amazing film. The Wayans brothers have a great sense of humor. They know how to parody a movie. They did it once before in the 90s with Don't Be a Menace to South Central While Drinking a Juice in the Hood. And yeah, they know how to parody movies, and this is no exception. This is a great film, and the premise of the movie is these kids run over this guy, and they dump his body in the water, and they agree not to say anything about it, and then someone is stalking and killing these characters one at a time. Shannon Elizabeth, I believe that's her name, is in this film. It is hilarious. Marlon and Shawn Wayans are great in this film. Marlon plays Smokey. Shawn is confused. And it's got a great cast. It's got a great story. So many laughs. And I remember going to the theater and watching this film with a big group of friends. It was one thing we were so excited about. I went there with Keitra, Brian, Sheely, and Jeremy Lewis, Randy Bailey, Clay Roberts. We all went to this movie. It was a great time, and we had a lot of laughs. I believe most of us showed up for the sequel the following year too, if I wasn't mistaken. But nonetheless, this is a funny movie and one you should definitely check out, and definitely could have been number 1, but my number 1 is one of my favorite Christmas movies, and that is the film Just Friends. Anna Faris plays a pop singer in this film. Ryan Reynolds is an agent who is in charge of taking her back east for some shows and stuff, and along the way they're playing Get Stranded back in Ryan Reynolds' hometown. So he goes home for Christmas, which he hasn't been home in years, ever since he was embarrassed in high school, because he was a bigger guy in high school, and he had a massive crush on Amy Smart, who was brilliant in this film as well. And Anna Faris is funny. Ryan Reynolds, it's just a phenomenal film. It is a great Christmas film. The mother in this film was in the Airplane films, the 2 films. And she is phenomenal. I love the cast. I love the story. This is a great Christmas comedy. And yeah, I can't say enough about this film as well. If you haven't seen this film, definitely check it out. I know you're going to enjoy it. It is phenomenal. So yeah, there you have it. That is my top 10 favorite Anna Faris films. So in the comment section, tell me, what are some of your favorite films of hers? And give me your top 10 if you'd like. And did you agree with my list? Did you think it was okay? Let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you guys. And I did this top 10 leading up to her film that's going to be coming out soon to rent, since I can't get to the movie theater. And I can't wait for that film. And so, yeah, I may do another top 10 of hers somewhere down the road as she does a few more movies. I'm not going to keep updating it after every movie she does. But yeah, that is my top 10. So if you agree with this list, let me know regardless. So other than that, I thank you guys for watching this top 10 list. If you liked it, hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And please share my videos with other friends. I really appreciate it. And let's talk about movies. I do top 10s. I might even start talking about TV shows. I love anything movies especially though. So until next time, I thank you for watching this top 10 list, and you guys have a great day, and thank you for watching.